Are you new to BJD Faceups and don't know what to do? No worries, if you're a beginner, today I'm going to show you how to do a faceup. Hello friends out in YouTube land, Asenva here for another BJD video. Today we're going to be talking about the fundamentals for doing a faceup. So if you're new to faceups, I hope this video can help you out. Before we get started, let's talk about some of the basic materials that you're going to need. Some basic materials for a faceup would include a paper plate for your chalk pastels, gloves, poster putty, preferably in beige, magic clean erasers, a paper towel, acrylic gloss, acrylic paint, watercolor pencils, a pencil sharpener, a painting palette, preferably clean, X-Acto knife, variety of paint brushes, and fine detailed paint brushes. If you're going to have to take off a faceup, you can use rubbing alcohol, this is 91%, or you can use a Winsor & Newton brush cleaner for acrylic mediums. Either one will work really well. Just make sure that you clean off your dolly head as soon as you're done using it on your doll. If you are looking to apply false lashes onto your doll today, you will also need some white Elmer's glue and your false lashes that you wish to apply. Now that you have all your basic materials out and ready, we're ready to go ahead and start. So step one, you want to make sure that your doll is completely clean. If it has a previous face-up, you're going to want to remove that. And if it is a blank head that you are receiving, still go over it with a magic clean eraser to ensure that there is nothing on the resin. If you did happen to have to clear it off with the rubbing alcohol or Winsor & Newton, make sure that you clean your doll with soap and water and let it dry, and then you're going to seal it. So step two is going to be prepping your pastels. Using your X-Acto knife and your paper plate and your chalk pastels, you're going to lightly scrape the pastel and let the pigment go onto your plate into a pile. These pastel pigments or shavings are going to be used for coloring in different parts of your face-up. It'll provide different shades, so use the colors that you feel like you need and keep in mind your wig color. A little bit goes a long way, so you don't need to shave too much of the pastel. So before we start applying anything at all, I just want to quickly just explain that we're going to be working in layers. So our first layer that we're going to be working on right now is going to be the shadows and base colors. During this phase of the face-up, you're going to be using your soft brushes to apply those pastel colors onto your face-up, and you can also use a cotton ball to blend things in. You might also want to put some poster putty in the eye socket areas and the ears to prevent any pastel from getting into the head cap. When applying these base colors, some places that you might want to consider are going to be around the eye, cheek color, some basic just lip color, and don't feel afraid to look at contouring videos to see where some shadows could be placed as well. So something that goes hand in hand in this layer is going to be step number 4, which is going to be the mapping out of the eyebrows. I will take a very light color, and with an angle brush, I kind of outline where I want my eyebrows to be. Something that I also do is that I will start the beginning hairlines with a watercolor pencil. You can wait to do this until the next layer, or you can do it during this layer, whatever you feel comfortable with. After I'm satisfied with these base colors and mapping out my eyebrows, I seal this layer and then I get ready for the next phase. The next thing you can work on is lip lines. Again, it's really up to preference of whether or not you want to add those like little lines that are in the lips here or not. Something that I've been really liking a lot is doing the corner here. You do like a little smirk or like a little line here towards the edge of the corner lip. Really quickly, if you like this video and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. The next step is acrylics. So you're going to need your painting palette and you're going to need your brushes and your acrylic paints. A little bit of paint goes a long way, so I usually fill one of the wells with water and then the other with my paint. Something really simple to start with your eyeliner is just to do the under part here, and you can use the edge of your brush and just kind of line it. When doing eyeliner, it really also is a matter of preference for how you want it to be. If you want it to be like a dramatic wing, or if you want it to be a high wing, or if you just want it to be as natural as possible, it's really up to you. Again, I really highly suggest looking at beauty like videos to see different kinds and styles of eyeliner and just kind of go from there. So when I do my lower lashes, I'm gonna make sure that I am gonna do really thin lines. I'm gonna make sure that my lines aren't too thick for these bottom lines. I really wanna just slightly pull down my brush to make some thin lash lines here. Next part I want to darken or add more to is going to be the eyebrows. Again, you can use the acrylic paint, or I'm going to give you another option that you can use right now. You can actually just use your watercolor pencil, wet your brush, and then put it on your watercolor pencil like this to get the color off of it, and then paint it. And I'm just going to do like the first couple strokes there. So at this point, before you go ahead and seal it again, this would be a great time to kind of revisit some of your areas that had pastel, kind of blend things out and fix whatever might need to be fixed at this time. I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure that my eyebrows are real sharp here. At this point too, it would be a good idea if you're gonna add any kind of tattoos or any kind of birthmarks or freckles or anything like that, this would be the time to do it. So at this point, we are good to do our next layer of sealant. We'll go ahead and seal it, and then we're gonna move on to the next part, which is gonna be gloss. All right, so next up on our to-do list is gloss. So some key areas to gloss would be the tear ducts. I actually like to run gloss around the eye up here where the eyeliner is. I like to even do some of the lash work, and then of course the lips. If you want to hit it up with more gloss, you can. At this stage, I honestly like to give it a good amount of time to dry. Typically on your bottle, it'll tell you like how much time it needs to dry. For example, the Tamiya one here says it needs an hour of drying time before recoating. So I'm gonna just let this sit, and then I will then move to the final part of the face up. So as you can see, the human lashes tend to be a little bit long. So not to worry, I'm not going to be keeping them at this length. You can trim them down once you have them put into the eye. But again, you're just gonna kind of want to measure to see like how much you want to put in there. I typically try to at least get it from where I start my eyeliner to the corner. So once I have one of them cut, I can kind of use that as my guide to cut the other piece. So when people put in eyelashes, I usually like to try to get it stuck to this part here where there's a line, typically here on the flat side of the inner part of the eye. Some people actually will go all the way through and even glue it kind of in the inside of the socket area here. It really kind of depends on what you like and where you see the lash falling. Kind of like applying false eyelashes for makeup, for human makeup. We're gonna do kind of the same thing, and we're gonna put glue onto the base of the lash. I'm gonna put some glue out here on my palette, and I'm gonna put it on my brush, and I'm gonna put it on my lash. And I'm gonna just run it across the edge here. Once I have some here, I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down into the eye. Sometimes, like how I was mentioning earlier, some people like to put it really far into the eye socket here, but I feel like sometimes when it's that deep, the eyelash kind of hangs low. So if you push it out a little bit more and really aim to get it on that edge, you'll start noticing that the lash will lift, so it'll look a little bit more upright. It's just a matter of kind of like playing with it and, you know, shifting it around to get it in that spot. All right, now that our glue has dried, let's go ahead and start snapping. Really depends on what length you want them to be. Personally, I think this is way too long. That and this is one of my boys, so I'm gonna give him really short lashes. You don't need to put on false lashes, but I feel like sometimes it kind of adds more to it and it gives it more of a realistic look with the false lashes in there. But it is definitely an option. Not all of my dolls have false lashes, to be honest with you. And just in case you were curious about how eyelashes can change a face up, I went ahead and I took them off so you could see the face up without the eyelashes. Yeah, it's a matter of preference, but I actually honestly like this face up a lot more without the false lashes. And that pretty much covers it. So I hope this face up for beginners video helped you. As always, feel free to leave me any questions, comments, or concerns down below. I hope you guys have a dolly-tastic day, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!